Hey there, it's the Doctor here with Typical Manga Fan, and on this episode of the Typical Manga Review, we've got chapter Bleach, chapter 642, Baby Hold Your Hand 5, with no extra embellishments. And we start out in flashback with Nemu and what did you say this guy's name was?
I think his name was Akon.
Okay, that sounds familiar. Um, where Nemu is asking why Mayuri will suddenly not address her by her proper name. He just calls her Nemu now. Her name is Nemori Nanago, or number 7.
Yeah, and then eventually they had this little comedic bit. I guess you know.
Again with Akun and someone else in the
Yeah,
science
who
division.
is that?
I don't
Is
know.
she like? It's like, who are these people?
I don't think we're expected to remember at this point.
Why does she remind me of who? She reminds me of like. I don't know. She kind of reminds me of Unohana because of the braids, but then she also reminds me of Nanao because of the glasses. It's really weird. No, she reminds me of Lisa. There you go, because Lisa had a similar hairstyle.
Okay.
But
Maybe.
yeah,
Don't know. My mind was going to Momo, but that's not quite the same appearance. Maybe more in just general demeanor.
I think I wiped Momo from existence in memory. Like I don't rate her at all.
Yeah.
So anyway, they talk about the previous Nemuri projects.
Right.
1, 2, and 3.
And
So like
basically 1 through 6, really.
yeah, 1 through 6. 1, 2, and 3 were the prototypes, and they didn't work out so well, I guess.
Yeah.
Well, none of them did. 4 was the only one that was able to actually get a brain.
And
But
and with that knowledge, they created a clown man.
maybe that's the guy who's the Vonnegut guy, the imagination dude, because he's literally just a brain in a jar.
I don't know. It just says here what heard in my head was the advanced upgrade from number 4.
Yeah.
Like the number 5, they managed to get it all the way to fetus. And then,
Yeah.
that's what allowed him, I guess, to remodel Zanpakuto and get Bankai and get promoted to captain.
And then 6 was the one that made it to age 2 and then died.
Yep. And actually, like the little assistant girl's thinking, like, that does explain why Mayuri's Bankai is the way it is, which it does actually.
Well, yeah, but Mayuri, he does so much shit to his Bankai that I would believe any explanation that they give.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I mean, obviously, there's a lot of ethical implications that we have kind of glossed over here.
I don't think Mayuri pays
cares.
attention to those types of things.
I think we've accepted the fact that anything Mayuri does is really twisted. I'm actually curious as to why the other scientists are pretty fine with it too. I guess they're also really morally like ambiguous or ethically not sound as other people. But anyway, we go back to the present where Nemu is like super fast now.
Yep.
And then we go back to the flashback. So it's just like, so then she asks about why he stopped calling her Nemuri Nanago, and instead calling her Nemu, and then.
And then he asked like, why did she consider asking Mayuri instead of him? It's like, I suspect he wouldn't give me a proper answer if I asked. You can figure that out, but you can't figure out asking me would be the same.
Yeah, and then he reveals it's because he's probably embarrassed. Okay, look.
He's dairy.
Okay, yeah. I'll talk about this later, but yeah, and then she argues that she thinks that he's not capable of possessing those feelings.
I'm with
he's
her.
Like, yeah, and he's just like, well, no, he wanted to create a soul out of nothing. He wanted to. This was his dream to create a shitty.
He wanted to be Frankenstein.
Yeah, basically, because I'm reading as he wanted to create something, but I think I misread as saying he wanted to create a Shinigami, because I don't know if we can consider her a Shinigami. Like, it's really weird what she is. Like, she's
create a new soul out of Oblivion.
But
basically to be able to create Shinigami on your own without having to worry about like recruiting and stuff like that.
Is that what he says? Weird.
Well, that's how I took it.
Oh yeah, because that's what I thought too. But the grammar kind of makes it seem like he's just wanting to create something, like the way God creates, more so. So he's not really creating a Shinigami. He just wanted to create life, I think.
Mm-hmm. Like I said, he wants to be Frankenstein.
Yeah. But then Akon specifies that this is Mayuri's dream. This is not the dream of all Shinigami. And he's just like, he basically wanted to see Nemu grow and eating, sleeping, and that was his dream.
Yep.
Okay, yeah, I'm starting to get let's continue.
Yeah, we'll cover this at the analysis point.
It's ridiculous.
I'm with you there, but yeah, we'll hang on a minute for that.
Okay, so he's saying, okay, look, he's embarrassed that you might realize this. And he eventually realized that you would, wait, let's see what it says. He says, He said, he said that he knew that Nemu, like he as an Akon, knew that Nemu would eventually figure this out. And then Nemu's like, well, if he thought that I didn't know any of this, would he call me Nanago again? And then Akon says, no, because you are the greatest masterpiece, his greatest masterpiece.
Yeah, there's simply no way she wouldn't evolve and progress.
And they're making this very campy, sappy moment with him smiling and just whatever.
Yep.
So yeah,
she blasts one hand. We return to the present where she blasts through one Pernita hand.
Yeah. Even though he's always been a hand, it's kind of weird.
And Mayuri's like so shocked at the level of power she's displaying.
She turned Super Saiyan, guys.
But she didn't dare dye her hair.
Yeah.
But it's like, this is the power Mayuri bestowed upon her. This body, the Shinigami's body that he entrusted her with. She's drawn the ability of out by pushing her system within like 0.8% of its threshold.
Yeah, and then so she's like, this is not your order, you know. He's like, no, my order is to protect you. And it's like, nope, your order is to mature and develop.
No, wait. They make a difference of point here. Mayuri's like, he didn't order her to protect her, but it's like, it's not an order, it's her purpose. Her purpose. There's a difference in this case. Like,
oh, okay.
Her purpose is her driving, is what drives her, not just the instructions she's been given.
Oh, okay, I misread that. It wasn't what is my purpose, but regardless, she still rebuffs him when he says that your purpose is to mature and develop. She says, well, by protecting you, I can show you how much I'm mature and developed. So she's apparently a lawyer now. Mm-hmm. She developed. Somebody went to law school.
And it's like, when did you get so eloquent? And to think that they would actually come and I have to entrust Nemu to fight in my stead.
She's gonna die, isn't she?
It doesn't get more demeaning and disgraceful than this. It's like, he's like all. Bleh.
So what she does is she uses like she's apparently converting her soul into like energy.
Yeah, like I said, that's the jargon thing. They say Konpaku, but that's like the mod soul, man-made soul, like Kon, basically.
Yeah, but I'm assuming that because she's like using the energy and she's like blasting into the hand, she's basically not getting the energy back. Meaning that after going to 100%, she's basically gonna be at her most powerful, and then she dies.
Yeah, but that's kind of the same with any attack, really. So it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, but I feel like this is making it like legitimately like directly related, you know? Because like you know what I'm saying, like you can always regenerate. Like you know, when people like are tired, they can always eat, and I feel like this is like a permanent thing. Like once she loses that 6%, it's gone forever.
No, I don't think so. I think she has a way to recharge it.
I don't know, because this is not her body. This is her soul. Mm-hmm. So those are pretty hard to come by. Last I checked. So and that's I'm kind of getting that feeling because they're making it seem like this is her last stand. Like this is the last thing she can do for Mayuri before she dies, and Mayuri's gonna feel all sad and whatever. Yeah, basically she's saying, you know, they're also being very specific too, like 6%, 7%. So they're giving this a time counter. Like once she gets to 100, I think that's where we're gonna say that the fighting is gonna climax.
Yep.
So yeah, then that's how the chapter ends with her blasting into the hand.
Yep.
So okay, let's talk about what this chapter is trying to make us feel. What I can tell is that this is trying to make us feel like a relationship between like a closer, deeper relationship between Mayuri and Nemu.
Right.
But I'm not gonna lie, it's just not working, and I don't think it's. And I looked at other reviews, and it's not working for anyone else.
Yeah, I mean, it works for Nemu, but not for Kurosuchi.
Yeah, exactly, because like this. But the problem is like it a lot of it was about Kurosuchi, where they talk about how he has his dream. Is to become is to see Nemu grow like a father, because that sounds a lot like a father.
Yeah.
So your dream is to see your daughter grow, but it's the campiness feel just doesn't, it doesn't work because he abuses her. It
doesn't even work for him in this chapter because he's like talking about how he's disgraced. He's like he's looking all all annoyed.
Yeah, he's like disgraced that she's helping him, not proud. Like, I guess, and then they're doing this tsundere type of thing where he's like, oh, he's trying to hide it. It's like, okay, no, he's an asshole. Okay, there are people who are like, like tsunderes, and then there are people who are assholes. He's the asshole.
Yep, no question about that. That's like I said, trying to make us feel for Mayuri is too little, way too little, way too late.
Sorry, your microphone's
better.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, it's way too little, way too late. Like if he had been less genocidal when we first met him. Maybe.
Yeah, look.
It'd probably be fine, but at this point, no.
Okay, you know what this works better with, like someone like Kisuke. Well, Kisuke did have those sometimes those ethical ambiguity as a scientist, but he was not as out there as Mayuri, because Mayuri caused a genocide. He caused a freaking genocide. Okay, look, it's like trying to figure out the way Hitler treats his wife. I'm sure Hitler loved his well, it's actually I think his girlfriend, fiance. But I'm sure we can have all the sweet moments between him and his lover. But you know what? In the end, he killed 6 million Jews. He caused a war. He tortured a lot of people. No one cares about humanizing, or not really human, but trying to make us feel for him, right? He's an evil person. This is kind of like the same thing. Look, Mayuri killed a lot of people. I get that he's not.
He may not be out and out evil, like not in the sense of like say you walk here, but he is not a good guy.
Yeah, but even you see, the thing is, like you can always make the argument that no one's truly evil. There's always a reason why people become the way they are. But like Mayuri is someone. Well, I mean, like Yuobok had this father. The problem is we don't know much about why Yuobok's the way he is. He could have gone through a traumatic experience that made him go evil. Who knows? But there's always there's no one's evil in 100%. It's just not.
Well, even in your example, that's true, but it's still in this case like when 90% of the stuff you do is ambiguous at best. Yeah.
Well, here's the thing. It's not that he's 100% evil. He's that he's like 95%, like 95. He's so evil that it doesn't matter whether he's 100% evil or not.
He's neutral at best.
Yeah. Well, not even that. I wouldn't even say that. I think he's just plain out bad. He's just.
That's why I say at best.
Okay. Yeah. Well, yeah. But I don't know. Even that best part, he's just so far gone. It's like the thing is, like I just feel that he's only with society because they're the one who provides them the resources. So it's kind of like a symbiotic relationship. But here's the thing, though. Like, yeah, Nemu feels bad for him. I mean, no one not feels bad. Feels a sense of obligation to him. But it's kind of like seeing that person always think highly of their abusive father. It's like, look, I get that you feel for him, but comes a point where to grow as a character, you have to realize that he wasn't treating you right. Like it's a hard thing to go through, but the thing, seeing Nemu defend her life for her captain, knowing what he's done, knowing how he abuses her, it's just kind of like the only thing he's ever done for her was give her life, and you can even argue that giving her the life that she's had may not even have been worth it. It's just whatever. What the point is that other than that, he has been abusing her like his entire life and made her feel like worthless. So seeing her like having this whole thing where she's like, trying to protect him, it doesn't work for me because I've watched way too many. I've seen too many developments in which the person can only grow out of develop as a character by realizing that the person that she maybe loved her entire life wasn't always the person, like wasn't as she thought he was or she was. Yep. And I just think that I don't like the way Kubo went.
You have to get away from the abuser to really develop in this case.
See, that's the thing. She is.
She's full on Stockholm.
Yeah. I was about to say that word exactly. That's the thing. Like this is it's a glorified example of Stockholm syndrome, and that's why I have a problem with this chapter. It's trying to make it make Mayuri seem like it's a dream. It's a dream to see her grow. But it's not working. Like, let me see if I can find a couple more examples of it, because I remember I had some thoughts that I wanted to get through. Oh yeah, he's embarrassed. There we go. The fact that he's embarrassed. Really?
Yes.
Okay, come on. No.
Yeah, I mean, at the very least, if this was something like, say, he was saying it like to Nemu to just placate her, that'd be one thing. But that's not really how they're presenting it here.
Yeah, no, they're trying to make us feel. Kubo is trying to make us feel. For Mayuri, and I just think it's a completely pointless effort because it's too late. It's just too late, and it talks. And here's the thing: they make it. They're speaking it through. They're doing it through Akon, and Akon so all the emotions, all that type of good feeling you get, it doesn't actually come from Mayuri. It comes from Akon's interpretation of Mayuri,
which may be completely off base.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, he's the one giving the smiles. He's the one giving the facial expressions, the emotion. This is not worth anything unless it comes from Mayuri himself. And if Mayuri doesn't do it himself, then I see no reason why I should care for this guy. It has to be through him. And even then, I think it's still too late. But it's like one of those things where maybe
I think it's too late. Period. At this point, anything you do would be too little at this stage.
Yeah. So instead of wasting your time trying to make us do something that ultimately won't matter, let's bring it into a different direction. Have Nemu maybe look. I don't know how it's gonna work, but have Nemu grow in the sense that she realizes that Mayuri has been a piece of shit to her her entire life,
Like he
and
doesn't
that she's
need her
gonna
anymore.
mature.
She doesn't need him anymore.
She doesn't need him anymore. You know, at least do something where it's like, I'm protecting you because that's what I want to do, not what you want to do. You know, do the whole thing with the Hyuga, you know, the Naruto, where the brother protected his older, I mean, the twin brother, you know, Neji's father.
Hyuga and Neji's, Hinata and Neji's parents, fathers.
Yeah. He protected his father not because of because his father asked him to, but because he did it of his own free will. And by doing so, he was moral in the sense that he sacrificed his life for someone else, but he also did it in defiance of the main house. Like it was perfect. So you can have something like that here, where she's doing it because she is not, she doesn't want to become Mayuri by letting him die, because then it's like all about revenge and shit. But she's protecting him not because he's a father, but because he's another life that she doesn't want to waste, doesn't want to let die, But in doing so, she defies his orders, and that I think would have been the great development.
Right.
But right
and
now
she
it's just
kind of is doing that, but not really in a sense. But
but I think it's more. I think it was written with the intent of a very glorified Stockholm syndrome, and that is my problem. That is the problem. Like I think the problem is it's similar, but only because of a kind of a coincidence. No, I won't say coincidence, but like what I'm saying. Like it's not. That's not the intent that Kubo wanted. Any similarities is probably just him. It just not really. Was not intended. It was him just saying, having a kind of like a brainwashed daughter be even more brainwashed, but done in a proactive sense. It's really weird. What it comes down to is, let's not feel bad for Mayuri. Let's put that way, okay?
Or good for him either.
Yeah, let's not feel bad or good for him. Let's not feel anything for him. I feel bad for Nemu. I feel bad that even to the bitter end, I think she might die. She's gonna sacrifice her life for someone who doesn't care for her. And I don't want to see the freaking scene where she dies and he's suddenly like he starts crying or some bullshit. Okay, no.
Yeah, that would just be like, no one's gonna buy that.
Because you know what? You can get attached to an object too, okay? I literally think he's only attached to her because she's just been with him for so long. But
actually, no. What you said just now kind of gives me like he's attached to her as an object.
Yeah, exactly. That was my point. Like, you can get attached to an object if you spend time with it long enough. How is that different from what Mayuri feels for Nemu? He doesn't see her as a human being. He sees her as an object. Even explained it, saying it's gonna be a hassle to make. It's like my save file, okay? It's like a video game. I'm gonna be hella pissed if I get all that deleted, but in the end, to me, it's a video game. It's the same thing. In the end, it's. I mean, I guess you can argue that's an excuse, but I honestly believe that's how he sees it. So.
Yeah, I mean, I'm with you on there. I'm kind of agreeing with you on that point.
Yeah.
Like, it's not either. He's more concerned with like her status as his project and her status as his subordinate / partner / daughter / whatever you want to add to that.
I think the problem is Kubo is trying to have a balance. Like he's trying to make it so that Mayuri stays in character, but trying to change. Like the problem is his very character is the problem. That is the issue here. So you can't have an in between where he's like kind of like the tsundere type where he's trying to be in character but trying to show his love in his way. They're saying no, his character shows no love. Okay, you cannot have him be in character and show love.
I'm not experimenting on you because I like you, baka.
Yeah, that's just no. I think if I would sum everything up, I think that's the issue. Kubo is trying to have him be in character, but at the same time show a different style of emotion, and is trying to make him three-dimensional. But the problem is his very character prevents that from making it believable. His very character, and that is the problem. That is the number one issue. So if you guys are just confused by all that, just that last part is you can sum up everything I've been feeling. There you go.
Meyer is a tsundere, and he really should not be.
Yeah.
And so, like I said, I don't think I really contributed too much in this case. So let me at least do the finish off here by pointing out that that's been a review of chapters 642 of Bleach, Baby Hold Your Hand 5. Go ahead and take us away.
Bye!